Hey everyone, this is Chev. Welcome to Mod and Tune and the 8th episode of the Subaru Rebuild series. So today we're taking a little break from the engine building, and as you saw by the thumbnail, I'm going to be painting the intake manifold and valve covers. Let's just go ahead and see what we're working with. So everything is already pretty much stripped, but there are a few things that I still need to do. I'm going to completely degrease the intake manifold and then go after it with this brass wire wheel. And as far as these valve covers go, these were already cleaned in a industrial parts washer with the heads, so all they're really going to need is a light degreasing. After everything is clean, I'm going to tape everything off so we can start painting. The paint I'm going to be using today is this VHT Wrinkle Plus. It's a pretty common brand found at any auto parts store. The red one I couldn't find anywhere, so I ordered that off Amazon. But yeah, that's about it. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to hit it with this gunk engine degreaser. I'm going to let that soak in for a little bit, and then I'm going to scrub it with this wire brush. Okay, so it's been soaking for a little bit, so now I'm just going to hit it with some brake cleaner, let it dry, and then we can move on to the next step. There we go, that was about $4 worth of brake cleaner. Alright, so that degreaser did a pretty good job at removing the dirt, but there's still quite a bit of surface corrosion on here. So what I'm going to be using for that is this wire wheel. So in the beginning of the video I had this one out, but I think that one's just going to take a little bit too long. So I got my 1/4 inch mini die grinder with this little bit larger wire wheel on it. So hopefully that goes a little bit faster for us. One thing about this is this die grinder spins at 25,000 RPMs, and this wire wheel is only rated for 4,500. So you have to make sure to turn the pressure way down so you don't overspin it. But just in case one of those wires comes flying out, I have safety glasses right here. So anyways, that's enough on that. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we're all done with that wire wheel, and I only stuck myself in the face one time, so I would consider that an absolute win. So as I was handling the intake manifold, I noticed there were some pretty gnarly casting edges on there, and paint doesn't like to stick to edges, so I'm going to take those down with my 1/4 inch mini die grinder. After that's done, I'm going to degrease everything one final time with my favorite degreaser, which is this Gunk foamy engine cleaner. So after that's all done, I'm going to go ahead, tape everything off, and we can start painting. Alright, so after a ton of preparation, the time to paint is finally here. I already went ahead and taped everything off that needed it. I also 3D printed these plastic plugs to block off all the holes. These just press fit in and should be a nice detail to prevent the bolt heads from tearing up the new paint. I did this for the intake manifold and the valve covers. So the best way to paint this is going to be to hang it. So here's my makeshift spray booth. I set up my engine hoist, and then I clamped a piece of metal to the end to extend it out. This way I'm going to be able to paint the entire intake at one time. So to achieve the wrinkle effect, I'm going to need to heat it up, but unfortunately it does not fit in my oven, so I'm going to have to manually do it with this heat gun. However, the valve covers, they do fit, so I'll let the oven do the work on that one. Let me just quickly go over the steps for painting. This paint can be put directly over the bare metal, and I'll be doing 3 heavy coats 10 minutes apart. The thicker the paint, the better the wrinkle effect. I'll be doing the intake manifold in red and the valve covers in black. So yeah, that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and lay down some paint. Alright, so I got it all painted, but there were a few runs, so when I wrinkled it with the heat gun, it didn't wrinkle uniformly. So what I'm going to do is put one more coat over the top here and see if I can't even that out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give it one more coat. I'm really just going to focus on the top here, because that's all you're really going to see when the engine's in the car. Alright, so hopefully that works out. That's pretty much all the paint I have left, so I'm going to go ahead and bake this real quick. Okay, so it's looking better than before. It's still not perfect, but I think once it's in the car and all the wiring and accessories and everything is on, it won't be noticeable at all and it'll look great. So I'm going to let this cure and get started on the valve covers. Alright guys, so I'm in my kitchen right now and I'm getting ready to bake these and stink up my whole house. So one thing is, I still have my little plastic plugs in here. I can't really get them out without messing up the paint around it, so I'm just going to leave them in and see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bake these for 20 minutes at 210 degrees, and that should give us a nice wrinkle finish. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put these in here. And I already dinked it on the upper grate here. Hopefully that will just melt away. Nothing I can really do about it now, so yeah, 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been exactly 20 minutes. Let's pull them out and see what we got. Alright, so let's take a look here. See, I got this nice line right here from when I dinked it on the grate putting it in, but that kind of sucks. But this is the passenger side, and this spot is going to be right up against the frame rails and no one's ever going to see it, so it is what it is. And yeah, but other than that, I think it looks great. We got a really good wrinkle effect going on here. So alright guys, so we're all done and it looks really good. I'm happy with the results. There's definitely a few imperfections on here, but as Bob Ross would say,
we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
So yeah, I'm not even worried about it. Once this is back in the car and all the parts are put back on, you won't be able to see any of that, so it's all good. So yeah, let me go ahead and just show you the valve cover here. Looks really good despite that one little mistake, but that's just a happy little accident. So yeah, that was a long video guys. If you're still watching, thank you very much. So I'll give you a little sneak peek on what the next episodes are going to bring. So I got all these parts ready to go on, and you know, I'm just going to go to town and start putting this thing back together. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you like it, give it a like, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.